guitar player starting out, like, there's something that sets you apart from the other guy who never crossed over into, like, going from that amateur level to the professional? Was there like 1 or 2 steps that...
Yeah, there's a couple of very distinct steps. The first and biggest part of the process is luck, and you can never control that. I mean, you've got to be in the right place at the right time when opportunity knocks, but you've also got to be prepared when opportunity knocks. You have to be able to follow it up. I was very fortunate that I got a couple of good breaks, and when they came to me, I was prepared. I was just very focused. As a teenager, I was very, very single-minded. I was all about guitar. That was my life. Probably in an unhealthy way. It was pretty much to the exclusion of everything else. I just 24/7, it was all about guitar. I'd lock myself in my room, I'd play guitar. I was also very fortunate that I kind of grew up. My parents moved outside of Belfast and bought this old farm. So I had this shed where I could go outside and I could literally plug into the amp and be loud, like at 4 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to, and I did. I'd frequently get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. I've always been very nocturnal, and I'd just go out there and the rest of the world was sleeping and I'd be playing loud guitar out in the barn. So in a way, you know, it's very different to do that than it is to sit in your house or your bedroom and play through a little quiet practice amp or with headphones on. I mean, that can give you a false sense of what it's like to feel air moving from an amp behind you. And I was very fortunate that I had this set of circumstances where I was born to play loud, you know, so I guess I do that pretty well. So yeah, the other big part of the equation, other than luck, which you can control, the part that you can control, and I always tell guitar players when they ask me for advice, is that you've got to embrace your idiosyncrasies. You've got to embrace what it is about you that makes you unique, and that's a difficult hurdle to overcome for anyone in any field, because when you start learning to do any craft, you're always inspired by others, and you always look to and listen to others and think, oh, I wish I could play like this guy, listen to how he does that, and you learn how that person does that, and then you kind of hang on to that, but at a certain point in time you got to let go of that, and you've got to take what you learn from that and make it your own, and embrace your own style. And that was difficult for me. I never really got that until recent years, because I remember when I first came to LA and was doing those Dio records, I wasn't comfortable with how I played back then. I was always striving to be someone else and to play like Paul Gilbert or Yngwie Malmsteen or all these other great guitar players who had great technique. But it's only, you know, in recent years I can go back and listen to what I did with Dio and think, you know what, that was actually, it was really good because it had its own style. Because of my inadequacies, I had to make do with what I had, and that's what made it sound so good and so appropriate, you know. So it's okay to be yourself, you know, and it's okay to embrace what's not fully developed in you, and that's what makes it unique, and that's what people hear. I mean, people are always looking for the human connection in any art form, and too often I think we as human beings, we kind of try and iron that out and homogenize what it is we do, but you got to leave the rough bits in, you know.